I mean, the first one we drilled 200 feet, and that's as far as the rig would go. And we were in a lightning storm, and you know, the mast is up and lightning bolts are going on. We're gonna drill this well. And we got to the very bottom, and it was our first well, so it was hard to tell if there was actually water in there. And so we finally closed it all up, and then when we checked to see if there's water in there, there was no water in there. And so I was like, oh. So that was the only dry well we drilled for years. I mean, for well over 10 years. Everything after that we drilled, we hit tons of water. And the first time you hit water, the first time you drill a well and water comes up, and then you put down the pump and pump water out, and it continually works. It's awesome, man.
So Hurricane Mitch happens. Is it like on the news? How did that all unravel to where, and what kind of a position were you in to be like, hey, what if we took the youth group down there? Like, give us like that scenario. How did all that happen?
When we finally came down the first time with the youth group was in April of 1999, about 5 months after Hurricane Mitch. And that's when we also got an opportunity to go at the base of the Casitas volcano and see the destruction of what happened with the mudslide. And it hit home too then, because you saw these giant boulders and you saw just the tops of houses that were buried under mud. And so it's kind of like seeing that was just like, oh, it looked like a nuclear bomb went off. I mean, that's what the bottom of the volcano looked like. There used to be 7 houses down there. They got completely taken down and went with the river. Over here, there were 3 more houses that got completely washed away. The families that were living with them are now living with other families. Some of the houses have up to 3 or 4 families in them. So on the way back from that trip, I think that's when a few of us kind of got this urge to say, I think we want to do something more than this, than just come once. And so when we got back, that's actually when we went to go see a lawyer, and we all agreed that we wanted to start a little organization right away. So it was in April of '99 was when we came down here as a group the first time, and in June of '99, that's when we got our 501c3 as Amigos for Christ. Our second year, in the year 2000, we had another trip. Actually, we did 2 trips in 2000, and then as word of mouth kept coming, we started adding another 3rd trip, a 4th trip. And as we kept going, and we started bringing more groups, and we started really diving into working in communities, we hired our first pure Amigos for Christ employee down here. We asked him if he would be our legal representative for Amigos for Christ, and we filed all the paperwork for Amigos in Nicaragua, and that's how we got really started and started working a lot more on our own out in the communities. The most important thing that is for us as people is like we want to see God in real form, and when you get to see it in human format, that's the best. I think, as believers or trying to be believers or anywhere in between, you want to get a glimpse of, what is God like, what is Jesus like, and if there's any way to kind of see that in human form, and again, all through, imperfect people, but I think when you get to see that, I think that's the best.